Before transitioning into the nursing field, as most of you know, I was an independent musician. I played drums in a rock band called Scarlet. We were a very small local band from Bartlett, Illinois, with dreams of making it one day in the music industry. My band and I did all of our own creative writing, production, promotion, and distribution. We booked all of our own shows and connected with our audience through our social media accounts. There are many behind the scenes preparations that artists have to do before showcasing a final project. With that being said, many artists choose to either work independently or pursue the help of a record label by signing a contract. A record contract, what is also known as a record deal, is a legal agreement between a recording artist or a record label where the artist makes the record and it is the label's job to sell and promote the record. A major shift has occurred in the record industry whether artists choose to sign to a major record label or remain independent. We will review the major benefits and advantages of A. Signing to a major record company, B. Staying an independent artist, and C. Directing the music industry, the direction the music industry is moving towards. Imagine writing and selling records worth millions of dollars and not being able to own any of them. Many pop artists, such as Taylor Swift, are battling record labels over ownership over their own hard work. According to Melody Chu, a journalist at Scoop magazine, the feud exploded when her former label head Big Machine founder Scott Borchetta announced that he had sold the Nashville-based company to talent manager Scott Scooter Braun for $300 million, and with it, including Swift's master recordings and music catalog. Traditionally, signing a major record deal is a dream most musicians have when they are new to the industry. However, depending on the deal the artist signs, it may either work in their favor or it may work against them. There are many benefits to signing to a record company. Major record companies can provide artists with guidance, management, financial support, and/or various assistance with the business and aspect of music. Artists that are proficient in creating music and content but have difficulty in other areas may prefer to have a record label support. According to David Thigpen, senior writer of Rolling Stones, he stated, "Younger and unknown acts may still need major label promotions to get their careers off the ground. The major labels are skilled image builders and possess the financial muscle to secure radio play and shelf space for their artists. Major record labels can pull big strings by providing artists with media press, which will help to get their music out. Labels help artists by providing financial advances for studio time. Labels may also help artists by putting them on tours to support more established artists to help garner new fans. While the benefits of having a recording contract may be ideal, there are also downfalls in which recording contracts have negative effects on artists' careers. Because major companies provide large advances to aid artists' careers in studio time, some contracts may cause artists to lose a large percentage or total ownership of their music, in such case like Taylor Swift's. If an artist's record does not produce sufficient sales, record labels may force artists to perform more tours to recoup financial losses, causing artists to feel overworked or slaves to their label. Record contracts may also cause artists to lose creative control of their music. Labels may also dictate the way they want their artists to put out based on what they anticipate will sell the most records. If at some point a label feels an artist does not produce desirable results, the label may drop an artist altogether. Artists may forget at the end of the day, business is business. While a recording contract may be one avenue for artists to help advance their career, some artists may choose to remain independent. Up-and-coming artists are not preferring to stay independent because they believe they will retain control of their music and their brand. A Grammy Award-winning rapper from Chicago, Chance the Rapper, who remains an unsigned artist, encourages independence from record labels. He uses himself an example that success as a musician can be achieved without the help of a recording contract. His album Coloring Book won Best Rap Album in 2016. According to Ben Austin in Billboard's New Pioneers, Chance has earned his income from not from 99-cent downloads, but from tours, merchandise, meet and greets, and his deals with Apple and other companies like Bud Light and Citibank, sponsoring his upcoming magnificent Coloring Book Day festival, eager to reach by many young, savvy fans. Chance the Rapper says, "It's not about the music being free. It's about how it is displayed and how it is made accessible to, and about its artistic power. It has always been about artist to fan relationship." Remaining independent means an artist will retain all profits made from their music, touring, and merchandise sales. There would be no responsibility to pay record label debt. The downside is that it puts more work in the hands of the artist. Artists have to do their own funding, booking, promotion, and business management. Because of this, it makes the job more difficult for artists to focus fully on their music. There would be no one for the artist to delegate jobs to as one would have with a record label. Because there are more independent musicians at this level, the competition to get their music to consumers would be much more difficult. The independent artist market essentially becomes oversaturated. According to Haynes and Marshall in Beats and Tweets, the popular music industry has always been characterized by an oversupply of aspirant musicians. However, the increased accessibility of the music production, distribution, and promotion enables more musicians to feel that they're in the game than ever before. While the disclosures are becoming successfully independently mean that they feel they have the choice of finding a golden ticket in the absence of more traditional forms of success, like income. The drip feeding of positive feedback through social media channels encourage musicians to persist. The result is that the boundaries between amateur, semi-professional, and professional musicians, which have been blurred when it comes to musical production, have become even more complex, and oversupply of aspirant popular musicians has dramatically intensified, making it harder to achieve a sustainable level of recognition or success. In other words, you are now competing with thousands and thousands and thousands of people, where you are competing to get people in your town or the people that sort of were willing to do the footwork to get to a certain level. Here I have a visual aid of the pros and cons of signing to a major label and remaining an independent artist. We will now discuss the direction the music industry is moving towards. With the new age of social media, advancements in sound engineering programs, and streaming platforms, artists are now able to manage themselves without the need for a record label. Sound engineering software such as Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton help young artists produce music professionally without in the comfort in their own homes. The need to hire a producer and rent a professional studio is being diminished. With the rise of social media such as Twitter, Instagram, and SoundCloud, artists are now able to do their own self-promotion and create daily content for their audience. Social media is essentially becoming the staple of music production. Even older artists are finding themselves adapting to the digital age in order to keep up with change. Industry professionals categorize artists based on their online presence. The digital field is also increasingly turning into a pre-configured field where it has become easy for the music industry associates to discern, categorize, and prioritize artists of various standings. It has become difficult to build one's professional music career without being part of a digital field or cultural production. And having such an affiliation essentially implies that one cannot truly escape from the mainstream industry's presence in the digital field. With the help of Apple Music and various streaming platforms, artists are now able to share their music directly to consumers without the need for record label publishing. According to Joe Haynes, a senior lecturer in sociology at the University of Bristol with research in pop music, entrepreneurship, and Lee Marshall, reader in sociology at the University of Bristol with expertise in the music industry, authorship, copyright, and stardom in beats and tweets. In the past, without support from major or moderately sized independent record labels, musicians had minimal opportunities to access the physical distribution system required to be sold in national and international retail networks. Opportunities for selling music merchandise were generally limited to live performances, local networks, and mail order. With the emergence of new distributors such as CD Baby, which offers global distributions of CDs as well as digital files, TuneCore, Ditto, The Orchard, independent musicians now have the opportunity to have their music distributed to the same major retail outlets as artists signed to major labels. Furthermore, the emergence of direct-to-fan platforms such as Bandcamp, Topspin, and Big Cartel enabled musicians to sell products directly for lower commissions than they would be charged by major retailers such as iTunes and Amazon. According to David Neveu, founder of the Music Biz Academy and author of the book How to Promote Your Music Professionally on the Internet, he stated, 10 years ago, the only way for an independent artist to gain exposure on a large scale was to endlessly pursue and hope for a one-in-a-million major label recording contract. For an unestablished artist, it was pretty near impossible to find new fans for your music beyond what you could bring in doing live shows. Fast forward 10 years today, the internet has turned the recording industry upside down. Artists don't need a major label deal to find success. In fact, it is preferable not to have one. The internet has created an enormous opportunity. Using the internet, independent artists and bands can have literally thousands of people listening to their music from all over the world every single day. As we shift into the digital age of music, the internet now puts the artists in control of their careers. What was once exclusively done through a record label can now all be done independently. Artists are now able to handle their own production, promotion, distribution, and even booking without the help of a record label. Depending on the contract, some artists may thrive with the help of a label while others prefer to succeed independently. The idea of a record contract no longer becomes a need, but rather an extension of help.